With the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order starting next week, the price is being revealed, and this is going to be Nintendo's most expensive console to date. But if you want to talk inflationary prices, the NES today would actually be $580 American. But I'm not going to be that guy. We're not going to talk inflation prices right now. We're talking today's money. The Switch 2 price is going to be $450 American for just the console, and the bundle pack with Mario Kart World is going to be $500. But here in Canada, the price for just the console is going to be $650, and the bundle pack is $700. I was thinking there was something weird going on, but our dollar's just that bad right now. So we're getting two exclusive games right off the hop, the first being Mario Kart World that you can get with the bundle deal. But if you want to buy it on its own, it's going to run you about $80 before taxes. And then the second is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is only going to run you about $70 before taxes. Video game prices in Canada usually only ran about $10 more than the American price, so it's going to be a toss-up how much this is actually going to be. A $90 game with the exchange rate is about $126 Canadian, so who knows what the prices are going to be. It seems a little wild for some reason that Donkey Kong Bonanza and Tears of the Kingdom are Nintendo's first $70 games. Tears of the Kingdom just seems like it's on such a different level. But that being said, this new Donkey Kong IP looks like it took a lot of work to make. Although it looks like they used the Mario Odyssey landscape for this game, which isn't a bad thing. It's a beautiful and badass looking game. Plus, I'm sad they never added DK64 to the online service. I feel like if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. So having this game really pumps me up. I've always been a huge fan of the Donkey Kong franchise. Accessories include the new Pro Controller, which is going to run for about $80. The official Nintendo webcam for $50. Find it kind of crazy that the Joy-Cons are $10 more than the Pro Controller, making them $90. But I guess it's because of the technology they added, like the mouse feature. Joy-Con charging grip for $35. The Joy-Con straps for $13. Plastic racing wheels that actually look pretty premium for $20 a pair, which isn't bad. And then a few odds and ends that you could probably just pick up the third-party manufactured ones. We all know Nintendo probably didn't need to charge us this kind of a price, but in the end, they are a business, and they are in the business of making money. I feel like a lot of us, including myself, are a little shell-shocked from the price of this console. Not because it's a lot of money, necessarily, but because it's a lot of money for a Nintendo console, if you know what I mean. PlayStation and Xbox charge these kind of prices for every console release, but to see a Nintendo console be this much, I was expecting more like 500 to 550 Canadian, not 700. That's a pretty extravagant price tag for a family gaming console. Once again, I want to say I'm surprised, but the Switch 1 did so well that Nintendo knew they had something big, especially if they just did what we asked in the first place and maybe a little bit more. They knew they had us by the kahunas and we would pay up. But that being said, at that price tag, they won't have the same kind of sales numbers they did as the Switch 1 did. But the diehard Nintendo fans and gamers will buy it, whether it's launch day or a few years from now. The year after year sales numbers for the Switch 1 were quite consistent. The first year being about 13 million, nothing to scoff at. The second year was 17, the year after that was 16, a very consistent number, and I think it'll be quite the same with this system. If it outsells the Switch 1 in its launch year, I bet it'll be due to scalpers, in my opinion. Of course, I'll be there waiting to purchase the pre-order with everyone else. I'm definitely not helping the problem. When FOMO kicks in, it kicks in hard.
Oh, I want to do some kicking!
Why you?
I disgust myself sometimes, but I digress. I was gonna say, I was super excited the whole Direct, but as soon as I heard what the price was going to be, I just felt that sinking feeling in my stomach. But I'll get over it once it's in my hands and I'm playing the GTA looking Mario Kart and sitting on my couch. I'll say one more thing on the matter though. It was always nice knowing that if I didn't want to spend crazy money on a console, that Nintendo always had my back in that aspect. But I guess the times are changing. Nintendo needs to make that bank and start their official beatdown of Sony and Xbox.
Now you can't leave.
I feel like Nintendo have just been plotting in the background and planning their big takeover of the console wars. But that's all I've got. I hope Nintendo continues to support the family of Switches for a while now so that people still have that cheaper option. And that this next era, the Switch 2, is going to be one hell of a ride. I will see you all in another video. Cheers, guys.